McDonald. And let's see, is Norman Beasley on the line? We can come back to him. Yes, welcome. You have 3 minutes.
Yeah, so my name is Jay McDonald. To start off with, I'm really perplexed that the first book that I came in here and read for the board was removed from every Anchorage school that it was in except for Bartlett without any explanation given. And that was perplexing because there's a process to go through for reviewing and removing books that wasn't followed. There wasn't any explanation given on why it was removed or what steps were taken or really anything to do with those details. And then at the same time, it stayed in Bartlett. So if there's nothing wrong with the book, why was it removed? If there is something wrong with the book, why is it still in Bartlett? With no explanation given, it's just kind of strange. And it's easy to say that some of these things, like some of these books, like the one that I'm going to look at today, it's just got a small passage in it that's a little bit off or strange. But if it's not a big deal, then why is it so important that these things are included in the book to begin with? And why are these books all showing up as part of award-winning packages within the past 2 to 3 years? And on that note too, we just went through a 2-year fight with certain people in this town. Whenever Judy Elledge was appointed to be chief librarian over at LUSAC, we had a huge knockdown, drag-out fight for 2 years about how important it is that we have trained, qualified, skillful librarians. It's not the janitor in the back that's just randomly ordering books out of a catalog. So it's very clear that these books are being reviewed and ordered for specific reasons. So I got a copy of the graphic adaptation of Anne Frank's diary. And we've got a passage in here. She's talking about having her period and all those things. But then it goes into a part where she's in bed with one of her friends. I think she's 11 years old in this passage. She says, "I had these feelings even before my period. I remember particularly one night when I spent the night at Jackie's. Jackie, could we show each other our breasts?" Why?
Mr. McDonald, could you give us the page? We have students who are sitting in the audience tonight.
This is in elementary schools. If it's appropriate there, why isn't it appropriate here?
Could you give us the page number and the name of the book so that we can look at what you're, and there, like you said, there is a process.
They're checking it out unsupervised at our elementary schools. It's Anne Frank's diary, the graphic adaptation.
I got the title.
Okay. I don't think it's appropriate to interrupt me when I'm reading materials that are in our schools. If they're appropriate for schools, why aren't they appropriate for the school board?
I think it's inappropriate for you to read things in front of our students who are here.
This is in schools down to grade level kindergarten.
That doesn't mean they have access to it, sir.
Okay. Am I able to finish my testimony or?
Sure, you have 30 seconds. Put 30 seconds more on the clock, please.
Okay, well, I guess I can't continue reading this book. So the questions I was going to ask, it's in elementary schools. Is this really age appropriate for minors? You might say, well, it's not really, so maybe it's okay that it's in the high schools. But if you think about, like, well, why do we need adults or high schoolers reading these, books with depicting minors down to like 11 to 14 years old engaging in sexual conduct, sexual acts? Is that really something that we want our high school kids to be? It's just, there's many editions, many adaptations of this book. There's plenty that don't have this material in it. It just feels unnecessary. And this is an intentional decision that was made in the past 2 years.
Okay. Thank you, sir.